What is up, people? It is your boy, VOG, Soda Pop Kid, coming to y'all direct. This is a Tuesday. Alright, Tuesday in the afternoon, still daytime out there. I usually do these tutorials at night, but I'm going to get it over with. And this tutorial here, okay, the title of this is, this hobby is a grown man's hobby. This hobby is not for kids, okay? Now, I've had some people ask me, and I have seen it on social media in other states with other bass heads like me. That's what we call ourselves, guys that like the bass and like our music loud. We call ourselves bass heads, okay? Have been asked this stupid-ass question. Ain't that car audio stuff for kids? And you know, either the person don't know or a hater would ask that question, just hating. So let me ask you this. Is checkers for kids? Is chess for kids? Is video games for kids? I mean, I know a bunch of grown men that's addicted to video games. I know certain wives or certain girlfriends buy their boyfriends or husbands video games. Is it for kids? That's the question. Is that for kids? Is golfing for kids? Is going fishing for kids? I'm just naming some hobbies. Race car driving. Is that for kids or experienced grown men do that? Okay, and other stuff I would like to say, ask is for kids. Is dancing for kids? What else? Watching cartoons, I would say that's for kids, but I know some grown-ups that like cartoons. And they do have adult cartoons. You know what I mean? This is a grown man's hobby, man. This ain't for kids. Number one, kids can't afford to buy all of this. Not unless they just got their driver's license and their parents who make a lot of money or is rich, you know, buys their kid a car and he wants a stereo system in there as well. I have seen that done, and the parents was not rich that had done that. And they made the kid pay for it. Like they may have gotten it for him, but make them pay them back. Okay, but then do they have the experience to do all of this, which contains carpentry and electronics? All right, let me go to the back. This is a grown man's hobby. Let me reach in here and turn my light on. I meant to turn this light on here. And there, people. There you go, boom. This is a grown man's hobby. I'm a 59-year-old grown man. I've been in the car audio since like 1990, 91. Okay, all of this. What kids can afford to buy this, man? You gotta have a job, unless they're out there doing something else, like slinging. You know what I mean? And selling drugs and stuff like that, and then they can afford to buy this if they're out there and they're successful with it. And I do not promote that. But this is a grown man's hobby. Okay? Everywhere I've traveled, all right, Tennessee, Kentucky, Florida, all over Ohio. I've been to some parts of Ohio that people live in Ohio don't even know the name of. There's some parts of Pennsylvania that I don't know the name of, and I lived in Pennsylvania all my life. Okay? I've been to these places competing. Where else? Indianapolis, Indiana. West Virginia, competing. And even Virginia, competing. Okay, for years, since like 2003. I've been on the road, on the highways and byways, going to Timbuktu, competing. Okay? This is a grown man's hobby. I mean, a female once asked me, right? She, I went to church with this female, you know, smart mouth female. You know, everybody that goes to church is not saved. Everybody that goes to church does not have a relationship with God. Everybody that goes to church don't love Jesus. Everybody that goes to church. There's some people that go to church to try to get brownie points from God. You know, everybody that goes to church is not going to heaven just because they go to church. Some people go to church and they ain't learning anything. They're not going there to make a change in their life. They're not going there to accept Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. Some people go to church to start trouble. Like Satan has his people up in there too. This female, you know, came out of nowhere one day and said, ain't that car audio stuff for kids? And, you know, I was like, well, since you want to be a smart ass, the answer is no, but, you know, her husband was out there in his 40s still selling drugs, like spitting $20 rocks out of his mouth. And I was like, well, ain't your husband, you know, shouldn't he be on quarter ounces by now, or full ounces, or kilos by now? He's still 40-something years old out there like he's a beginner. Yeah, that struck a nerve. I was like, so the answer is no, this ain't for kids, but I don't know. That might be for kids. You know, a smart aleck remark gets another smart aleck remark. You know what I mean? I don't like being scrutinized and judged and antagonized and all that. I don't like that. I just never did like that. You know what I mean? This is a grown man's hobby. Grown-ass man. All the people I've met and all the places I said I went was grown-ass men. And you know what's so good about this? I know it's different and everybody's not into it. And everybody's not into pop locking. And everybody ain't into writing graffiti. You know, and everybody ain't into falling back and watching movies and chilling and all of that. You know, everybody doesn't smoke weed. I don't smoke weed. I never got nothing out of it. Like, it never did nothing for me. You know, when I tried it back in the day, it never did nothing for me. I'd rather drink something. You know, just plain old wine coolers like Smirnoff Ices or Mike's Hard Lemonade or something with a cheeseburger and some fries, you know. Everybody's not into what everybody else is into. Everybody don't go to bars 7 days a week to get drunk, gossip, talk about people you don't even know, be in everybody's business, slander. Look to see whose husband, wife, boyfriend, or girlfriend you can take home and bone, so you can take a star and lick it and stick it on your forehead and give yourself some credit for accomplishing something. Everybody don't do that. You know what I mean? But some of y'all, that stuff's for kids, technically. I mean, what are you going to get out of it? What do you got to gain from it? To talk about the person? You know what I mean? You got everything to gain and nothing to lose doing that, right? Alright. This is a grown man's hobby. That's just to tell you, that's what this is. I'm meeting people, I meet new people, we gather like it was a concert, you know what I mean? We sit in each other's vehicles, we get demos, we look at each other's builds, we see what each other's using, you know what I mean? We see each other's scores, we give out advice, we get advice. That's what we do because we're baseheads. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be into this hobby. You know what I mean? I don't know really, but I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts and just win trophies, and that shows accomplishment. So I don't know. If I pass and leave this world, I don't know what my family is going to do with them trophies. Probably give them away to some organization, and they can give them to kids that get straight A's or something. You know, because I got 730 of them and counting. I thought about that. I looked around at them and was like, well, if I leave this world, if I pass away, what my family going to do with these? Nothing. They ain't going to keep them. They'll probably just give them away or break them all up. But I'll enjoy them while I'm on Earth, and I accomplished that goal by doing all this traveling that I've been doing, and all this, that, and the other, and all the money I've spent to win them. Okay? Period, point blank. So that's the end of that. So this is going to end this short tutorial. This is a grown man's hobby. Now, not saying that there's not some 18 or 19-year-olds out there that got their driver's license and do have a job and they want to be into this. This is an addicting hobby. Okay, and I'm not saying there ain't no 18-year-olds, because I have ran into a couple, but most of everybody's grown men. They have a grown man car audio forum called Baseheads 40 Plus, and you have to be at least 40 years old to be in that forum, because all of us grown men got a little tired of these young boys coming up on these forums bashing that don't even get in the lanes because they hear everybody else talking about everything else, and they just go back and repeat what everybody else said, and they never even got in the lanes to show and prove of anything. Bashing people's equipment, That is played out. Car audio bashing is played out, way out. Okay, so, grown man, and I see females as basing too. What was that one female's name? Lady Bateshead or Lady... There's females that do this too. Sorry that y'all around here can't get into this. Y'all would rather be in the bars and clubs trying to be a boss and all that nonsense and wanting to bone everybody else's husband or boyfriend. You just ain't into this, probably talking behind my back. Soda Pop's still into that? Yeah, I'm still into it. What are you into? Talking behind my back. He's still into that pop locking. Yep. Go down to California where all them OGs where pop locking started. And go down there and run your mouth. And see what might happen. There's female old school OG poppers down there too. And there's only but a few of us up here. Pittsburgh is slow. It's slow learning the stuff. And it's slow getting back into it. Pittsburgh is 5 years behind. I was born and raised in Pittsburgh. Smelled the whole stinking ass of Pittsburgh. And yeah, we'll talk about Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is slow. Slow, slow, slow. 5 years behind. New Kent is 3 years further behind. The mentality of this town. When will they ever learn? By the way, I got a brand new windshield put in yesterday. See, that's brand spanking new. Windshield. Alright, I'm about to be off here. I got some plans for this, man, to get it louder without changing equipment, like shrinking my cabin. That's the next thing I'm going to work on, is shrinking this cabin, man. Alright, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Soda Pop Kid, over and out. Peace, people.